Hey, what's up? Welcome to this After Effects tutorial. I'm gonna show you how I create a ripple wave effect in After Effects. So this is an example that I'm gonna use. First up, open up your object, your scene, or whatever that you wanna use to create the reflection. In our previous video, this is what we created, and then I'm gonna show you how I add in a reflection with this Outrun, or in my case is Outrun sun. So first off, we need to create the ripple. So let's create a comp, call this ripple wave, and then we pre-comp this. That's fine. Okay. Look for the displacement. Oh no, not displacement. What am I thinking? Look for the fractal noise. And then we'll be increasing the contrast here and the brightness. So, and then uncheck the uniform scale. Can play around with this settings later. Bring down the complexity. And then we will animate the evolution. Go down to the evolution settings, click on cycle evolution. So what this means is that in one cycle of evolution here, after 360 it will loop the evolution. So let's go back to 0, keyframe the evolution cycle. Let's create, so my timeline now is 12 seconds, so I can do 4 seconds loop, keyframe, click U, and then I will keyframe this to 1 evolution, and I will add a loop expression. So let's preview this. So you can always adjust this to your liking later, but let's move right along. Press F4, make it a 3D object, and we will create a perspective for the wave. Press R for rotation. Bring this to negative 90, and go to the P for position, and then go to Y and bring it down, and then let's scale it up, and then go back to position and just position it. Let me click on this thing here, position it, and then let's go back to let's go back to our original comp here. Looking at this, I would want to make it bigger. So let's go to the scale it up a bit more, go to the position, right about here. See, this was from previously. Okay, so now we have our wave here, and then we have our sun. So if you want to know how we made this earlier, you can check out the previous video. This is a glow, and this is the sun itself. So let's just duplicate the sun itself, bring the ripple down, and for the sun, let's go to scale, uncheck the constraint, go to Y and give it a -100, and then we can bring it down, yeah, wherever we want to place it. And then for the ripple, we will do an alpha mat. Oops, okay, hold on. So one more thing I want to do also. Let's turn back the ripple on. Let's go to our turbulent displace. Is it? Yep. Turbulent displace. Just bring it down to a very small number here. It almost just a little bit more. You can see it adds a little bit of wave to it, and then it will add a sense of wave to the horizon as well. We turn it off again, and then let's add an adjustment layer. Or before that, okay, let's duplicate this wave, put it above my sun here. So for my reflection, I'm using an alpha mat. So what happens is that it shows the reflection using the wave alpha, and then for the sun above, I will do a alpha invert mat. So same thing for the sun's glow. If you don't have that many layers, then it's just one layer for your alpha invert. So what this means is that if I'm gonna move my Outrun, it will always be masked according to the ripple wave here. So same thing for my reflection below. If my reflection is all the way here, yeah, I'll probably put it around here. So this probably how it looks. And then let's go back to our adjustment layer, and we add a displacement. Let's add a displacement map. Let's title this displacement, And then our displacement map layer will be our ripple comp. We will be using our luminance and luminance. No difference there. Okay, but whatever. So by default is 5 and 5. Let's just see how it looks like. Wait for the preview to run. So as you can see here, we have our wave more or less sorted out here. If you want, you can play with the displacement here, the displacement left and right. And then another thing you can play, let me try to lock this here, is to go into the ripple comp and then adjust the settings on your ripple, and then you'll be able to like see so you can adjust the brightness as well, the contrast, and then kind of see what you like. Another thing that would be kind of nice would be to add a kind of a blur to your ripple effect. So in your reflection, just add maybe you can add a Gaussian blur here, but maybe not too much here, because the waves are always moving, and then it gives a very kind of like flowy effect. If you have any synthwave, retro wave, or blah blah wave kind of tutorials that you wanna see me recreate in After Effects, let me know in the comments. So I'll be saving this in different versions of After Effects and putting it up in Google Drive for download. Just give me your email and I'll send you a link to where I save it. And another thing that about this ripple that we've been doing is that the extra lines created over here, let's just close this. The extra lines that we have over here is because of how we created the lines on the sun. And let's go into our sun and see if we can just remove it, and then this is how it looks without the extra lines. Oh, another thing that I've done is to scale rescale this. So if you see, let me just turn this off, and you can see that because of the displacement map, I have the background solid that I have is also being displaced. So what you can do is just to simply scale it up a bit, make sure that it's covered up, and you're done. I personally like it very much to have that bit of stenciling of the extra lines here. So you can play around with the settings and see what fits your aesthetics, as they say. And in my next video, I will show you how I add a grid kind of a retro wave grid in After Effects. Very simple thing, but if you don't know, then it's interesting to know. That's about it. Now, thank you for joining me with this tutorial.